All right, welcome to episode 10. Episode 10, it's about 8, is it 8:30? Shit. It's about 8:30 Monday night, evening. And today, or this evening, instead of going through a lot of theories and concepts and stuff like that, let's just go over a little bit details about the 20 single man technique, square only. So this is more like a basic video. Since a lot of the other videos I've been going into depth that may go above people's pay grades as far as knowledge-wise in the art. So let's do the 20 left side first. Definitely do both, but let's do the 20 together. And I want to point out some things that you want to focus on when doing these 20. I would venture to say that yes, you have to practice your stance, you have to practice your punch, and then you have to know first form, but of that, I would venture to say the 20 should be viewed upon as your new religion. Like you should dedicate a lot of time and effort making sure that the 20 is understood, why you're doing it, how you're doing it, the coordination is good. Because a lot of your cues and problems occur because while you hear it, you may not fully understand it of what you're doing, okay? So with that being said, let's dive into the 20. So here we have our guard hand first, left hand first. And I'm gonna go eventually. I'll increase the level of detail into it, but let's just do the 20 first, and then we'll take it from there. All right. Tan, bong, lap, pak, lan, bu, jum, wu, hyun, jet, out, gum, bak, pow, gan, ding, han, lo, jung, cow. Okay. Maybe I should do the right side too. From here, tan, bong, lap, pak, lan, bu, jum, wu, hyun, jet, out, gum, bak, pow, gan, ding, han, lo, jung, cow. So there's a 20. I'm doing it square. I'm not doing the twerk version or the full turn version. Okay, and I think I've explained in detail what the benefits are of doing it square first and foremost. But looking at just this version first, the square first, notice certain things are important first. Notice there's different ways to do the 20, but this square one, imagine like here's your guard hand, and imagine here's a hug. And if you imagine this like there's a hug here or like a ball here, this ball encompasses in this direction and as well as this direction as well. So think of it only not from hug here, but also hugging here, hugging also this way, like a full circle, full ball, the whole perimeter circumference of the ball. Okay. Notice when I do my 20, I'm going to point out some things that you may or may not have noticed. Notice with my 20, if the starting point from the guard hand is right here, notice the level of deviation from that, right? If I go from tan and bong and lap, pak, lan, bu, jum, notice the center seal where both the active hand and the passive hand unite are pretty much in the same dead center that I'm working on. Maybe there's variances as far as a little high, a little low, a little sides and here, but basically I'm meeting at this center point every single time. So for example, if you look at where my hands are from the start hands, tan, bong, lap. Notice you don't see me go tan, and then a little off center, bong, lap. Every motion basically is a unification of both hands, right? Guard hands. See, guard hands are intersecting to meet here for the hug. Tanzao, intersecting. Bongsao, Lanza, or Lapsao, they're all meeting here at that same spot. At no point am I actually trying to leave that center or deviate off that. So that's one thing you should look at. Second thing you should look at is look at the size of the ball, right? If the ball, from here it may be more obvious, The ball here staying relatively in the center. The ball size, right, from the side, if we look at it, notice I'm not doing this. You look at my guard hand, okay? Even my guard hand here. Tan, bong, lap. Now you may be like, okay, that looks okay, but you notice that the size varies when I'm doing that. And that's the wrong way to look at it. If you look at it from here, even from my guard hand, tan, bong, lap, pak, lan, bu, jum, woo. Notice the size of the ball. While it breathes, it doesn't go, if the outside size of the ball, the perimeter goes up to 5, it stays at 5. It doesn't go to 6 or 7. It doesn't shrink down from 4 to 3. When I'm doing this, the ball is basically the same size every single time. Okay? That means I'm trying to develop that the ball basically is going together every single time. So key. So key. Right? Another thing, we talk about the hug, right? Notice if you look a little more in detail with the, for example, the tanzan while going forward is cutting down, right? Cuts down. The wusa while going forward is cutting out. So in all honesty, if you look at it, it would look like if I exaggerate that motion or you get caught into that one here motion, you could end up going like this. See how I just split myself just a little? Split myself just a little, okay? Lapsao, okay? Lapsao's this way, wusao's this way. See how I'm splitting myself a little? I don't want to separate the balls. I want the ball or the two hands, the left and right side, to have unity with it. So if you look at it this way, when I combine my hands together, if you can think of it, every motion I'm doing has like a hugging effect to it. So even though this motion is cutting this way, even this motion is going this way, at the end of the day, if I do it, right, here's my tan, wu, combined, not tan, wu, separated at the end. Because if you create the ball, you have a function, right? The ball does something for you. The ball, anything that comes towards the ball will rotate and basically shiver things out of the way, right? So it comes here, I don't have to push it out of the way. By simply having this motion here, it's drilling out this way. By simply having the wusa here, it's drilling out automatically this way. But if you find yourself using the tan to guide its way out, using the wusa to guide its way out, that means this ball that you're creating here is being moved, right? This is, if you can imagine, this is constantly spinning here. I just have this here. My job is to maintain this here and it'll do the work on its own. I don't need the ball here and all of a sudden it comes here and I have to push the ball off to the side or move it in this fashion. It is automatically doing it. My job, the hands, based off the wrist, is turning already. So the job is to combine both hands to function as one, not to function separately from one another. Okay? Very key, very important. All right? The breath. This may be going in a little more detail. If you see, the understanding of the breath is like a rhythm, like a wave. Expanding all the way till you reach a point, and then relaxing. Okay? So, if you look at it, and I'll exaggerate this motion, if I go tan, right? See how I expand all the way, and then relax. And I'm exaggerating the motion so you see it. Okay? If I was less obvious and you want to do it, I'd be like this. Okay? You can still see the motion, a little bit about it, but you notice there's like a wave of how to do the motion. I expand out, I contract back in. Okay? And then if you look at it, expand out, contract back in. Expand out, contract back in. Contract back in. Expand out, contract back in. Still exaggerating it so you can see, but you'll notice most people have that little wave of them. They go 1, 2, 3, 4. You see that? You're catching like a beat, you're catching like a wave. Nothing wrong with that. Eventually, and you could see that. You can visually see that. Eventually, notice, I'll give you an example first. 1, breathing, relaxing, breathing in and out for each three motions. Okay, so you can actually see me go 1, 2, 3, right? Expanding and contracting. Okay. Now I want you to look at here when I do it now. 1, 2, 3. You see? You see it there? You don't. But am I doing the wave for each one? Yes. Right? You may not see it, but I'm definitely doing it. I can feel it for myself. Okay? Now, do not get this confused. The problem most people have or face with this situation is, remember a rule, one for all. If my hands move, a lot of times, look at the difference here. If my hands move, notice my hands are moving, but now my center of gravity, as well as the lower part of the circle, I'm holding and not breathing, right? If you do that, that's wrong. That means basically you don't have a unity, you don't start from the source, and the hands are doing all the work, okay? So when I do this, right, one for all, that basically in and out, in and out, in and out. Notice I don't do it. It looks like you can't even see it, but there's that basic pulsation that's happening every single time, right? All right. With that being said, I'm hoping that this will give you a basic idea of how to work and focus on the 20 single man techniques, okay? First level of working on is just getting coordination. You got to understand the motions of each one, hugging each other every single time. Once you feel comfortable with the hug and you don't have to tell yourself tan, bong, lap in the order, then you start working on basically the feel of it, right? Tan, bong, lap, okay? Notice you're starting to get the feel of that. And then once you feel comfortable with each individual beat, then you start linking them together. Tan, bong, lap, pak, lan, bu. Jum, woo, hyun. Jet, out, gum. Fak, pao, gan. Ding, han, lo, jung, kao. Okay? Right? Eventually you could do it like in individual series and the sequence of events. Then you start getting the rhythm of how things are moving. And notice in the beginning, you can have something that's like where you go 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And then you're basically going to the max from 0 all the way to expansion, then to contraction, all the way back to 0, and then back and forth. And eventually you can string them all together, one fluid motion, right? Where I can do the 20 single man takes tan, bong, lap, pak, lan, bu, jum, woo, hyun, jet, gum, fak, pao, gan, ding, han, lo, jung, kao, yun, kao, right? Notice one fluid motion, continuous, steady breath through each one, nice and smooth. Okay. So we talked about the problem as far as going in and out. We have to talk about the issue too. When I think I kind of added this already. Sometimes wusao gets stagnant too, right? So for example, both hands are combining and breathing each time. It doesn't have to be too exaggerated, but sometimes the wusao can be stagnant. Like it goes like this: tan, bong, lap, pak, lan, bu, jum, woo, hyun. See how it's stagnant, right? Because it's like such a little motion, but if you look at it when it moves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. See how the wusao is alive. Remember the simple rule: one for all. One moves, everything else has to move. Nothing holds, and you have to get that breath down. All right, hopefully you understand and appreciate the value of the 20 single man techniques. If you find yourself landing, right? I mean, it's a hand techniques, you may hear it, you don't fully understand this hug process. Because this hug process feels the same when I do a motion. But it's so tempting when you start feeling the other force of someone else to abandon it to go left side or right side. There is no left side or right side. They're simply the ball that meets the oncoming force. When you come closer to understand how that functions, then you'll start understanding the value of why the 20 is so important. All right.